Today we're going to make efficiency max, and I say that because we're going to combine cubed potatoes that we're going to fry up. We're going to make refried beans, we're going to make tortillas, and then we're going to take that, we're going to make quesadillas out of it. We're going to make burritos, and we're going to make nachos, and then kind of two kinds of nachos. We're going to make dinner nachos, and then also dessert nachos. So lots to learn here. I hope you can enjoy. So I'm going to cut the potato in half. I'm going to cut a bunch of kind of fine slices. The way I kind of compare this, if you dice an onion, you're going to do something similar but with a potato. It will not take as long to brown them this time, so I gotta check back in 60 seconds to 2 minutes. I'm going to turn the heat down just to make it easier for me to work with. Less hot for my arm. But if you were really being efficient, you would burn yourself. These are almost done. How much salt? Potatoes need lots of salt. So I'm going to leave that up to you. If it doesn't taste good, add more salt. Once they're done, I'm going to turn the heat off, and these are ready to be served whenever. The cubed potatoes will be our chicken replacement and our $1.50 a day. So I've transferred the beans from the slow cooker into this mixing bowl. And I'm going to turn on a hand mixer. You can use an immersion blender. I actually like the hand mixer better. Something I'll say, you can do this for a few minutes. You can do this for 20 minutes. If you do it for 20 minutes, it's going to be especially creamy. Think of the creamiest texture you're going to get on pinto beans. If you do it for 20 minutes, you'll get there. I don't know if I care that much, and I do like these refried beans, so I'm going to do it for a minute or two. Something I'll say, this is probably perfectly fine to have at this point. It actually may be a little bit runny. It looks a little bit runny. So something I'll say, if you added, say, too much water on accident or too much fat, actually particularly too much water, you can always put this in a pan and boil it down. You might not believe me, but over the next, if I put this in a pan over the next 5 to 20 minutes, we can get this from being something that looks like gravy and turn that into very thick refried beans. Probably too thick if you boil it down too far. So you can always fix these, and at the same token you can always take something that's very dry and add, I'm going to suggest an oil just because they supposedly taste better, but you can even add water. People add, say, chicken stock. You can add all sorts of things to make it creative. But in the end, I think this is pretty good. I'm going to just make it even smoother. Because once you have really good refried beans, you have like an expectation. And while we've cooked here the refried beans long enough and we have expectations. So we put in 4 cups of flour, 1.5 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of salt, and 6 tablespoons of oil. So now that it's done mixing, I'm going to put this on a board and kind of knead it, and then add some extra flour to it. So add more flour. Flour it again. And flour each side. So this one looks like it's pretty much done. Yep, perfect. I need to throw another one on, and this one looks like it's just got started. Oh, this is way too hot of heat. I'm going to turn that down. So you can poke at these bubbles. Apparently that's what you're supposed to do to be authentic. Me and Mandy like the bubbles, so we keep the bubbles. No, I'm not quite ready. We'll be ready to flip in just about 1 minute. Looking good. Let's see. It's looking good too. So it's definitely important to know the temperature of your pan. You can feel it out like I did, where I checked every minute just to see how hot it was, because this one's obviously hotter than this pan was. Okay, so here are the quesadillas all done. They are going to be delicious. Actually, I already took a bite and it was great. The refried beans were creamy and this is just crispy. He wants more, you can tell. So, only other thing we're going to add, I'm going to add some hot sauce. So, pick a favorite hot sauce. I actually ask for a variety pack for Christmas every year, and it kind of just makes our Tex-Mex, our Mexican evenings just a little bit more interesting with a different hot sauce like every week. So this is a midweek update. This is leftovers, so I took a tortilla, put some pinto beans on it, and filled it with potatoes, and I'm going to add some hot sauce. I actually don't usually add hot sauce like this. I usually add it by the bite, but it looks fancier this way. It looks a little bit more complex, but this is what my lunch is, and this is just an easier way to eat for $1.50 a day. It doesn't require making quesadillas or anything. This is just a burrito, and I put it in the microwave in Put it on for about a minute, and I'm about to have lunch. Okay, so how to make tortilla chips. Take like a pizza cutter or scissors, or you could even rip these, and just cut tortilla shapes out of them. I like doing them into eighths. I think they look pretty official, tortilla-like. And then I have a pan that I sprayed with nonstick spray, and I'm putting the chips on it. Okay, I'm going to oil all of these chips. So the thoroughness can depend on you. If you want to go all out, you can make them really oily, or you can make them lightly oily, like I'm doing. Although not all of these are going to be lightly oiled, because in the end they're going to taste great, so you just do your best. I'm going to make one of these trays for dinner. We're going to have nachos tonight, and then one of these trays are going to be a dessert type of nacho. I'm going to put cinnamon sugar on it. This is a big favorite. These go very quick at parties. So warning, you might actually just want to make them all like this. But we want to have dinner tonight, and we have those refried beans we previously made, and we actually have some cheese, even though that's not part of the $1.50 a day. So I'm going to salt these. You could see I'm not being very precise. People like salty chips, so do your best. And then you'll notice I'm going to also salt the cinnamon sugar chips. Maybe you don't have to go as crazy. Oops, that one's really going to be salty, but it'll still taste great when you put a bunch of cinnamon sugar on it. Alright, so time to add sugar. This is obviously a fun part. The more sugar really is better. I mean, I'm sure there's some limit where it just won't cook through or something, but just putting a little bit of sugar on until you can see it. So now I'm just slightly tapping it with some cinnamon. Right, changing our, oh, that's gonna be a lot of cinnamon. Alright, I think these are ready to go in the oven. We have the oven set for 375. I'm probably gonna turn it down to 350 and then just keep a close eye on it after about 10 minutes. So usually these take between 10 and 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes if you want to be super crispy. I would keep a close eye on it if you're going to wait 20 minutes. So I'm going to put these in, and alright, so I took these out after 14 minutes and they look great. The cinnamon sugar ones look just perfect. Oh man, those are exciting. And these, well, these are ready for me to plate. So this is my finished product of a plate. So this has the fresh chips that were all homemade. It has our fresh pinto beans, made into refried beans, and then we have cheese that I learned about sodium citrate, so I can make cheddar cheese creamy, and then we put some hot sauce on. Want some more?